Understanding abuse. The skills for people guide to keeping yourself and other people safe. Originally made for Newcastle Safeguarding Adults Board.
Please note that this is a guide for adults and has some upsetting words and photographs in it.
What is abuse? Abuse is when somebody does bad things to someone that causes them pain and harm. Abuse is always wrong and nobody should abuse you. It is never your fault. Physical abuse. Physical abuse is when somebody does something on purpose to physically harm a person. They can hurt people by using their own body, like their feet or their hands, or by using an object like a knife or a stick. Physical abuse includes hitting, burning, holding somebody down so they cannot move, kicking, pulling hair, spitting, pinching or scratching, grabbing or pulling, throwing things at someone, financial or material abuse. Financial and material abuse is when someone takes a person's money or belongings without asking them. Financial and material abuse can also be when somebody tricks someone into giving them their money or things they own. They could also borrow things and never return them. Financial and material abuse includes stealing a person's money and things that they own, making somebody buy something for themselves that they don't really want, making somebody buy things that are going to be used by other people, not giving the person money for something they really need, like food or money to pay the bills. Sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is when people touch someone's body in their private places when they do not want them to. Sexual abuse is when somebody does something sexual to someone when they have said no. Sexual abuse includes touching someone's bottom, touching someone's breasts, touching someone between the legs, forcing their penis, hands, or an object into a person's body. This is called rape. Forcing somebody to watch films or pictures of people having sex when they do not want to. Having sex with somebody who does not understand what is happening. They may say they want sex but do, do not understand what this means. Remember, it is your body. People should never touch you sexually if you do not want them to. It is your body and it is your choice. Sexual exploitation. Sexual exploitation is when adults gain the trust of a young people, children, or vulnerable adults, so they can use them for sex. Sometimes the men pretend to be people's friends to get the young people, children, and vulnerable adults to have sex. This is called grooming. They sometimes give people drugs and alcohol. Sometimes lots of adults, mainly men, will use the same young person, child, or vulnerable adult for sex. Many children, young people, and vulnerable adults do not understand that they have been groomed or that what has happened is abuse. There has been lots of abuse by groups of people, mostly men in different parts of the country. We call this sexual exploitation. It is illegal and it is abuse. Discriminatory abuse. This is when people treat other people badly or unfairly because they are seen as different. This could be bullying people because of their religion, bullying people because of the color of their skin, attacking people who have a disability, bullying people who who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, not giving people the chance to be part of something because they are seen as too old. Neglect. Neglect is when your care needs are not met. Neglect is when people do not look after the person they are meant to care for properly. Neglect includes somebody being hungry most of the time, somebody not getting support with their health needs, somebody not being helped to keep clean if they need support. Self-neglect. Self-neglect is when somebody does not take care of themselves properly. They might come to harm because they do not look after themselves. Self-neglect includes someone not eating, someone not taking their medicine, someone not keeping themselves clean. Emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is when people say bad things to someone and threaten them. This can embarrass, and scare them. Emotional abuse can include treating them like children, threatening people, bullying and name calling, swearing and shouting, laughing at the way people look, Institutional abuse. This is when paid staff in a hospital or care home do not support people to be safe and have a good life. Institutional abuse can be things like not having enough staff to support people to be part of the community, not supporting people to have to make their own choice about what they would like to do in the community. Staff not supporting people to do what they want to do in their own home, like choosing what to eat and when to go to bed. Staff having poor attitude and treating people badly. Modern slavery. Modern slavery is when someone is forced to work for no money or very little money. This can be jobs like working on a farm, building work, being forced to work in someone's house, doing all the cooking and the cleaning and never getting out. People cannot just leave because they are threatened and scared into staying. Sometimes people are locked up to stop them leaving. Sometimes people's passports are kept hidden so that they can't leave the country. Who abuses people? Abusers can be any type of person. And an abuser can be a doctor or social worker, a support worker, strangers, friends, family, people from your church, your synagogue or mosque, neighbors. Anyone can be an abuser. But remember, most people are not abusers. Where does abuse happen? Abuse can happen anywhere. At home, at home, where we work, at the doctors, in a hospital, at school, college, at a day centre, in the street, on public transport, on your computer, tablet, or phone. What are the signs of abuse? Some things that may make you think somebody has been abused. Cuts and bruises that cannot be explained. Somebody who is always crying and emotional. Someone who hurts themselves deliberately. Someone, someone who gets pregnant. Somebody who has a sexually transmitted disease. Someone who never has enough money to buy food or pay the bills and does not know where their money has gone. Somebody who does not look after themselves probably and is always dirty. Somebody who is never allowed to see their own family or friends. Somebody who is never allowed to make choices. What to do if you or somebody you know is being abused? You can help somebody to speak up for themselves. Sometimes you can speak up for somebody who cannot speak up for themselves. If it is an emergency and somebody has been hurt or is about to be abused, you can call the police or ambulance service by ringing 999. You can talk to somebody you trust who can report the abuse. Family or friend, doctor or nurse, a manager or social worker, an advocate. An advocate is somebody who helps you speak up for yourself. You can talk to anybody that you trust. What happens after you report abuse? If you tell somebody you trust about the abuse, you will get support. Sometimes a social worker will visit you to talk to you or the person at risk to find out what is happening. They they can call a meeting to look at what to do about the abuse. The meeting will look at how to protect people. You can use an advocate to support you if you need to. Sometimes the abuse is so bad the police will come and see you to make sure you are kept safe. Remember, abuse is never your fault. You can get support to keep yourself and others safe.
We hope that this film will support groups, individuals, and organisations in their adult protection work. Feel free to use our film in any way you want to support people around safeguarding issues. All we ask is that you let people know the work was made by the Skills for People Easy Information Service, Film and Easy Read.